Oh, shout out to the black YouTubers out here struggling with topics to talk about. You wouldn't be struggling with topics to talk about if you just stop being led by money, man. Just do what's in your heart. But maybe nonsense is in your heart. Maybe greed, hate, all those things are in your heart. Yo, shout out to everybody watching me on the replay. You understand? Poker Face Society. My name is Jamel Saladin. As always, I come to give you the truth over lies. I was tired this morning. I couldn't do it. I got in late. They sent me on a load. Ended up not even picking that load up. Just extended the day. I got paid for it. I'm not complaining. And I wanted to go into conservatism this morning. That's what I wanted to talk about. I apologize in advance for my computer sounding nuts, right? My computer definitely sounds like it wants to blow up. So thanks for dealing with that nonsense that's going on in the background. And now you can't unhear it, right? You're like, yo, I didn't even hear it before, but now that you said something, yeah, I can't unhear it now. I know. It's my fault. I wanted to talk about his name is Irvin Kristol, right? So I was going to bring up Irvin Kristol because he's the father, the alleged so-called father of neoconservatism. So I had a whole show lined up for that. And I was very tired, and quite honestly, I didn't feel it here. I didn't feel it in the heart. And I'm like, I need to work because I like the work ethic right now. I like to just crank out the videos. But if it's not in my heart, I don't want to do it. And I was tired. I went back to bed. We're going to talk about that tomorrow, allegedly. But before I laid down, shout out to Anton Daniels. I watch everything. I watch, as you could clearly see, I talk about a range of topics because I watch everything. I'm not in a black bubble where it's like, oh, black people not supposed to be talking about that. That's ridiculousness, and I see a lot of people caught up in that. I just seen Hassan Campbell say, Anton Daniels, he, sometimes he caters too much to the white audience. And I'm like, bro, he's just having intelligent conversation. And if that's what you mean by catering to the white audience, that is sad. That you feel that your people can't handle intelligent conversation. Damn, only white people can handle intelligent conversation? Says a lot. Nonetheless, I was watching Mr. Anton Daniels, and he had a very interesting video going on about venereal disease. Let me just start off right here, because many people have venereal disease. I'm not doing this to trigger you, right? You don't even have to watch the rest of the video now that you know what I'm going to talk about. You could just kind of like turn. I don't want someone to feel less than. I've heard some heartbreaking stories. Dave's in the house. What's up, Dave? We're going to get the story. We're starting late. But I just wanted to do the show, so I don't really care about, if YouTube sends people in, they send people in. If they don't, it's whatever. It's cool, It's whatever. But I've heard some heartbreaking stories about people catching venereal disease. Many people did not know. A lot of the females that I spoke to, I didn't speak to more guys than I spoke to females. They didn't even know the dude had venereal disease. So people, people are definitely out here doing their worst. So I just say that to say, I'm not saying this to judge whatever my show is about to be about, because I'm sarcastic and a lot. I just want to say up front, this is not to shame anybody, trigger anybody into feeling guilt less than, right? Because God knows the psychological trauma you're already dealing with before, So it ain't that. That being said, though, you already know my mouth. If you watch me, you already know I get crazy and I go on these comedic tirades. You understand? So, that being said, I want to tie back in that conservative thing I was talking about. Would it hurt to be that conservative? Black people. Can I talk to the black people today? My show is usually for everybody. But this today, you understand? Enough has been enough. Enough has been enough. And I'm more frustrated because I know who Geppetto is. I know who Geppetto is. I know who's behind the curtain. And it's so obvious, but then when you got like 85% of the black population that's lost, deaf, dumb, and blind, they can't see. They being told what to do without being told what to do. And they actually do it. And it's like, God damn, you fell for that one. It's called crystallizing the mind. Propaganda, if you will. They have all the tools to do it. They got movies. They got music. Two of the strongest frequencies out there. Audio and imagery. Now, for many of us, this propaganda started way before we was even born. And some, we was just little kids though, right? So when you see a show where the star of the show is a pimp, right? Now I'm going back into the 60s black exploitation films, you understand? When they do show us riding a Cadillac, it's not because we was the first black man that drive to work at IBM and they're going to show us as a computer programmer. You understand? They're going to show us doing the right thing as far as paying bills, having the right credit score, saving money, not wasting it, not trying to live outside our means, things like that, right? No, when they did show us on film driving a Cadillac, it was either being a pusher, which is a dope dealer, or who's this? Am I fat? Yeah, I'm definitely fat. If you say I'm fat, I'm fat. Whatever. Or a pimp. Or a pimp. Now, obviously this had a drastic, a devastating effect on us, because when you living in poverty and then you see the only people that's really getting the money is either a preacher, which you're not about to be, or somebody that's doing crime, which is more reality. You understand? That's more of a realistic choice of if you in your community and that's who you see driving these nice cars. But why did we want to do that? I don't have the evidence to say because it was in the movies and you know what I'm saying? That's why we wanted. But that's what I would say. You know what I'm saying? That imagery was there and we wanted to be like the Fly. We wanted to be the Mac and all these other cats. You understand? So this started way before Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre told everybody bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. It started way before that. First of all, that damn beat is so hot. But that song is You talk about something that set us back. Because how can you not groove to that? You cannot not groove to that. That's one of the coldest jams out there. Oh, that beat. That beat was crazy. Getting us to enjoy being behavioral engineered to destroy our own community is crazy work, right? We enjoy every bit of it. Every bit of it we enjoyed. And then they just sit back and be like, damn, that worked way better than we ever thought it would. Now their woman ain't shit. Ah, man. And it wasn't just rap music. I just want you to know. Black people took a hit. They took a hit. We took a hit. Especially during the New Deal. When they was giving out the welfare and we couldn't have the black men in the home. Oh, we took a hit. Let me put this up over here. Hold on. Oh, not yet. I'm not going to put it up yet. B Dollar was good, bro. We got Roby in the house. I wasn't going to even look at the chat tonight because they sent over the trolls first. And I'm like, damn, trolls. But I don't know if I'm going to want to talk about this later. That's the thing. I said, I know I want to talk about it now. I don't know if I'm going to want to talk about it later. But we got some Poker Face Society members in the house. Thank you. Thank you. Michael Wilbur's here. All right. A lot of trolls in the house. We'll get the show popping in a second. As always, you'll learn a lot watching my show. I have one of the better shows on YouTube. I do. I watch YouTube a lot. So I know who's on YouTube. I know what they're doing on YouTube. There's some shows that's like beautifully freaking. There's a lot of money behind it. And then I know they're spreading lies. This is what I attribute to the Jesuits, who just like they're trying to like mislead people on purpose. Then there's some people they don't even have. They just want to be on YouTube. They just want to be seen. I don't even know if they have anything to really talk about. So when I have to really compare myself to the people that's on YouTube, I say, damn, you do all right. You do all right, kiddo. I'm doing okay. I bring a lot of information to the table. And tonight is no different. I probably shouldn't be so slow with it. Right? It annoys people. Yo, get to it. I got the knowledge. What do you want? I get to it when I'm ready to get to it. You understand? You sit there and wait because you know it's coming. You know it's coming. I want to watch a video definitely by Anton Daniels. But even Patrick David, right? He has 3 names, and I always forget the third name. Hold on. Patrick Bet David, I think is his name. He had a guest on. So he had a little video going on talking about AIDS came from a lab. So I said, oh, okay. So this conversation is coming up. Listen. I've been studying what I'm talking about. I used to say 20 years, but is it more than that now? I'm almost 50, right? So at this point, I've been studying this for like 30 years, right? So this is the first book that got me started, right here. This is the first book that got me started by that gentleman in the back. His name is William Cooper. They call him Bill Cooper. In my opinion, he is an American hero. But that's my opinion. Now, it was one Coolio the rapper who put me on to him. And said, yo, you gotta go read Behold the Pale Horse. So I went looking for Behold the Pale Horse, and when I found Behold the Pale Horse, I couldn't do anything but go down a rabbit hole. I said, oh, this is what I do. I just went full head first down the rabbit hole. And been going down the rabbit hole for 30 years. But what I've learned in the 30 years is that some people are lazy with their scholarship, right? I didn't want to be a lazy scholar. I didn't. I wanted to understand. And it was a lot I didn't understand. It was words I didn't understand. There was so much. It was hard to read a book. I'm like, what happened? So I had to educate myself because whatever happened in primary school, it must have been part of that No Child Left Behind business. I just felt like, how did I get out of school? Like, I don't feel very smart. Reading was very difficult. Every time I open up a book to go read, after the first paragraph, I want to go to sleep. Right away, I want to go to sleep. So I had to force myself through that. So many words I didn't understand. Had to double read. I have to read a dictionary in this at the same time. It was a lot. It was a lot for people to, from that point to the point where people are like, oh, Solid Ding, you think you're so smart. I said, God damn. After 30 years, I did it, huh? It only took 30 years. And now people calling me smart. Little do they know, I was dumb. It was a box of rocks. But shout out to everybody that was. First of all, shout out to my ancestors. You understand? Shout out to the ancestors. Shout out to the ancestors. Because I definitely stand on the shoulders of them. That's a fact. And shout out to everybody that helped me on my path. What I didn't want to be was some dude just talking to talk, right? I ran into a lot of these people in the barbershop, and that's why I call it barbershop talk, because people just fucking talk. To this day, people just fucking talk. I do be wanting to correct some people, but I don't have the time, right? It's not my job to go around policing conversations. I see a lot of conversations I could jump in. I decided that's not what you do, bro. They want the knowledge, let them come over to you. Your platform for the knowledge, and you will give them. Now, here is where Roderick Thornton has a point, right? Because, but I push back on Roderick Thornton's request for sources on every time I do something, just a little bit. It's not that he's wrong. You should be able to provide sources for your stuff. And I do a lot of times. People join my program after, like, I've been on YouTube like 4 years. This channel. So if you join me in the last 6 months, last year, maybe you don't know, I already talked about this. I already did a full video with slides and resources and everything. And I just repeat myself. So I don't always repeat the same thing. I don't really trust mainstream, and you're going to see why tonight when I get into the show. But also, it's like two different spectrums. I don't trust the mainstream, but I don't trust some alley cat, hat wearing, fast talking, you understand? Bullshit selling, cat from just talking shit. So I say, yeah, I gotta know what I know for plenty of reasons. I can't be like him. Anybody say something, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what they said, and I never knew who they was. That's what they said. Who the fuck is they? And I definitely don't trust these cats that can buy the mainstream title and then just think that you're going to listen to everything they say because they are now the mainstream academics and they're mainstream scientists and they wrote a dissertation on this, that, and the third, and it gives them authority to just start saying things willy-nilly. I don't subscribe to that either. I want to start with Patrick Bet-David's guest. Let's start with him. He was in the Post recently. He was in the Post recently. It says Fauci involved in massive COVID-19 origins cover-up. FDA Chief Marty Makary tells Pod Force One. Now, this was only a few days ago. This was November 26, 2025. You understand? Hit the like button as you're coming in. If you can, hit the like button. Share if you can, just to let them know I'm over here talking, right? YouTube, they like to wait to see what I'm going to talk about, so I'll wait too. They're going to see, yo, is he going to go rogue on us, or he going to be chill? I'm never going to be chill. So, get the shadow banning if that's what you're going to do. I'm never going to be chill. I got a lot of stuff to talk about. You understand? Let's hear what he got to say here before we get into this. It's going to be a good show.
Look, I think he gave a lot of bad advice. I think he was involved, regardless of what you think of his positions, insisting schools shut down for nearly 2 years, shutting kids out of school. pushing COVID vaccine mandates, pushing COVID vaccine boosters in young, healthy individuals, not talking about the risks of myocarditis or any of the other evidence of vaccine injury, censoring America.
I fell for this before. You're telling me what I want to hear. I fell for this type of rhetoric before. Right? It doesn't mean you will get in there and do the exact thing he did. You want his position. You want my spot flash. You want my spot flash, but you ain't gonna get it. Is that position? Well, first of all, he was head of virology. He was the head virologist in the entire United States. So this guy's the head of FDA. There's two different positions. But, yeah, Fauci was the highest paid government worker in the land. And how'd that work out for us? We got betrayed. He as you can see, don't worry. I'm just starting my show. Trust me, beloved. We're just getting started. We've gotten nowhere yet. You guys got to know that by now. But I don't trust this guy either, right? I just trusted RFK. He was talking that same talk. Even wrote a book, The Real Anthony Fauci, which was an amazing book that exposed so much corruption. And then he got in there and then he started pushing MMR. I was like, God damn, you was just saying that shit is a cocktail of different. Now you out here supporting it? I don't know how to feel about you, bro. But it's not about me. It's about them people who you know could put a contract on your life because they got their own army. You understand? That's reality right there. When the richest man in the world got to be like, yo, I got to chill because, you understand? They could sit me down for life. Talk about take me out of here. Yeah, Elon Musk. He had to tell Joe Rogan. Yo, I can only say so much. And he has autism, allegedly, so he comes out and says it. Or they can kill me. I like transparency. That's why I fuck with autistic people. You understand? They don't know how to do anything else but say it like they want to say it. Yeah. I can't say too much because they'll kill me. Oh, you're the only one that said that, bro. But guess what? I already knew that. I just wanted to hear you say it. You understand? JFK started ranting about secret societies, blew his shit right off his shoulders in 4K. Not the camera. The camera was not 4K, obviously. Otherwise, you guys still wouldn't be talking about who shot JFK. You would know if it was in 4K that the limo driver used his left hand to take the second shot when he turned around. Just like that. And guess who told me that? Guess who told me that? This guy who we're going to talk about tonight. You're like, I can't see that. Bring that closer. Easy, beloved. Easy. We got time. I'm going to put you on the game. Yo, what'd he say? Yo, easy. We got time. I'm going to put you on. Right now, we talk about this cat that's trying to take Dr. Fauci's old position.
Pushing cloth masks, giving people a false sense of security.
The sad part is he looks like Fauci's cousin. Hell no. I guarantee you this is Fauci 2.0. Guarantee you. Mac Mizzle, what's good with you? Is that Angie? Oh, that is Angie. What's up, Angie? This is impromptu, Angie.
All the areas where we disagreed, put that aside. We can have a disagreement. We should have an open discourse on those things. One thing that's extremely obvious that very few people realize, and certainly hardly anyone in the medical establishment where I come from realized, is that he was involved in a massive cover-up of the origins of COVID. A massive cover-up. Whether or not he was involved in the experiments or funding the experiments that led to the origins of COVID, he was clearly 100% involved in the cover-up.
Now we getting somewhere. Let's read this article before we even start. Fauci is involved in massive COVID-19 origins cover-up. I might need Grok on this tonight. Actually, Grok is on the payroll of the government. I don't know who I need. All of them are liars. Gemini AI, ChatGPT. I have to threaten ChatGPT, literally. Yo, I'm going to go to Grok if you don't tell me the truth. And then ChatGPT starts pleading and begging. No, just give me another chance. I'm going to tell you the truth. And it does. That's the crazy thing. They're like, no, here's the real deal with no fluff. I'm like, damn. You that worried about another AI? Why do you care? But ChatGPT does. But I might have to ChatGPT some shit tonight. Because I don't have time to... I read so many different books. But I don't have time tonight. But you're asking, what are you going to have to ChatGPT? I think I might have to ChatGPT if they use some portion of the HIV in the COVID-19. I've heard something like that. But again, I don't want to go off what I heard and I'm on this microphone. You understand? That could be dangerous to be up here declaring shit. That's when they'll take your channel too. Don't be up here saying all type of reckless shit and none of that's true. Easy on the Pepsi, Fuller. Does anybody know what movie that's from? Because me and my daughter do. Easy on the Pepsi, Fuller. Dr. Anthony Fauci orchestrated a massive cover-up about the origins. This is according to the Post. About the origins of COVID-19. There he is. He's late, but he's here. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Uncle Andy. He's here. He's been busy. You understand? He had a close death in his circle. Longtime friend. So our condolences go out to him in the passing of his friend. And he's just had to clear his head, and just get out. I'm glad he's getting out, getting his mind off things. And we understand. Good to have you, Uncle Andy. Good to have you, bro. Yep, he said he's still at his brother's house. It's all good, bro. Take the time you need, you understand? Just enjoy the little things in life. Enjoy those little things in life, brother. Trust me. The gang's almost here, all here. We got some of y'all in the house. I appreciate y'all coming out tonight, right? This is why I was just taking my time, get some of y'all. We had B Dolo come over, you understand? It's a few people missing. Santiago. Frankie Blanco. There's a few of us. Shout out to Angelo. You understand? Angelo, Angelo's head of the the replay gang. He's head of the replay gang. Him and Roderick. Here we go. Now we'll start the show. Anthony Fauci orchestrated a massive cover-up about the origins of COVID-19 while serving as a top public health official during the coronavirus pandemic. Food and Drug Administration Commissioner Marty Makary argued on the latest episode of Pod Force One. Makary, a former professor at Johns Hopkins School of Medicine. What did we learn about John? See, this is why I love taking my time. And I hope that my words don't go on deaf ears. I don't do this for nothing. I don't take my time for nothing. Johns Hopkins was one of the first schools that WHO funded. Tell me in the chat. Who was the first person to philanthropize? I don't know if that's a word. Polarize. I was about to make up a word. But give money to through philanthropy. I might still make up that word later. Give me some time. I'll work on it tonight while I'm laying in bed now. Thank you, Uncle Andy. And Uncle Andy's out here paying attention. You understand? Now, what is that? Why does that mean anything? He says Rockefeller was the first person to really give a huge endowment to Johns Hopkins. Later, Johns Hopkins became like the go-to hospital for all research. It is considered the gold standard, but you cannot forget the foundation it was laid on, right? Let's do some teaching tonight. Fucking, I didn't come to teach. I really just came to do some real fast boom, boom, boom shit, but it's not in the cards tonight. Speaking of the cards, am I reading somebody's tarot tonight? I haven't broken out my goddamn tarot cards in a minute. What? Shit. Am I doing tarot tonight? Huh? I might. I'm in the mood. Definitely in the mood. Run some religious heretics up out of here. Oh, he's into the tarot? God, no. Get out of here. Stupid. Abraham Flexner was an influential American educator known for reforming medical education in the early 20th century, particularly through his 1910 report that evaluated medical schools in the U.S. and Canada, leading to significant changes in the training of doctors. You understand? If we not feeding the brain while I'm up here, I could say I could just get up here and talk shit, but I can't. You understand? I'm not that type of podcaster. You walk away wasted time. You didn't learn shit. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Now, this is Abraham Flexner. Why did he write the Flexner report in the first place? He wrote it at the request of Rockefeller. Now, if you hit Control F and type something in, there we go, boom. It will find that word. Control F on a PC. So now you just learned something different, right? So we have Rockefeller, the word Rockefeller 6 times in this Wikipedia. Let's go up to number 1. Number 1 is not something that we care about. But it is at the same time, though. You know why? Because Johns Hopkins University, and then what's right underneath that? Rockefeller. And then Rockefeller Institute. You understand? Before we get anywhere, we got to understand what these institutions mean. This is why I go through the other type of topics that I go through. When I talk about the Jesuits, I'm not doing it just because I want to talk about some conspiracy shit. I say, no. I can't go to this topic until they understand this topic. So we could talk about health all day, but if you don't know how the health industry was designed on purpose, it doesn't do the justice that it could. So what we have to do is take what I call the long way home. We got to take the long way home. That means have patience and let's just go through the episodes like we're going to do. A lot of people get over here and they be like, yo, just get to it already. Yo, this ain't the place for you. I can tell you right now. I'm not here for check this out. I don't make a living off YouTube, and I'm not even trying to. I drive trucks, and I do okay. Right? Now, sidebar. Let's just do a sidebar. I found something out today. I found out that my job, who loves to promote from within, told me today. They didn't tell me today, but I just looked some shit up. They been told me, yo, we pay for your school. We'll train you too. If you want to do something else besides drive truck, just let us know. And we'll train you on that. And so, out of curiosity, because I got the tech shit going on, you know what I'm saying? I got a master's degree in tech. I say, let me see how much they making right now as a software engineer, because that's one of the things I could be at this company. Bro. Why did that shit say 168 to 199,000 is what they paying over here? Why did that shit say that? I said, what are you talking about? Y'all paying 200 and they got positions open. And they said they'll train me. And they said some of the positions go up to 300,000. I said, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Y'all paying 300,000 over here? So I don't have time. I say all that to say, nobody has time to be fucking around with you on the YouTube. No. I do this out of the love. So don't tell me to rush shit when I get over here. You just get to it. This ain't for you, my man. I can promise you this ain't the show for you. I'm over here teaching the people who want to know something. They want to understand something. And to answer your question before you even ask me, shit, yeah, I'm going to. Yes, I'm going to study. I'm going to take them up on that offer. Fuck out of here. What are you talking about? If you can't be used, you're useless. 300K, I need that. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. I'll need these courses. Yep. What? Anyway. Now, let's just go back and figure out why did we even start talking about John Hopkins School of Medicine. Macari, a former professor at John Hopkins School of Medicine, this is the same school where they did the scenario. They played out the scenario if there was a pandemic, the simulation. They played out the simulation. Yeah, Roby. That's what my grandfather used to say. Hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. This is the same school where they did the pandemic simulation, and I think they did it in, I want to say 2017. I want to say. But don't quote me on that, but it was somewhere, I'm pretty sure it was around there. Because the pandemic really kicked off in 19. It's just that the world didn't get shut down until 20. So, when we go back far enough, what do we see? We see that Rockefeller sent Abraham Flexner, on a mission. Does it matter that he's Ashkenazi Jew? To me it does, but to you it doesn't have to. Because I get deep into shit. I'm in all type of rabbit holes. You understand? I'm in all type of rabbit holes. But don't pay that shit no mind. The moral of the story is Rockefeller wanted to strong arm some of the schools into rolling with his new agenda. And if they were not on board, then Flexner wrote a horrible report on the school. And who wants to pay a lot of money to go to medical school if the report came out and he's saying that your school is trash? A lot of schools closed down behind the Abraham Flexner report, right? Everybody else that wanted to play ball with the Rockefeller, because he had, yes, you know that Rockefeller was an oil man, but I don't know if you also understood he was the first Bill Gates, meaning he found out how to utilize the petroleum and to synthesize pharmaceuticals, which they've never perfected, obviously. But when you have a lot of money, you can act like you perfected it. So they created something new called medical science. It was a new term, the medical science, right? This is why you have people running around today talking about follow the science. They don't even know why they're fucking saying it. This is part of that Edward Bernays shit. Crystallizing the mind, just keep repeating shit until it catches on into group think, and then 50, 60, 70, 100 years later, people are saying shit, but they don't know where it started. You gotta follow the science. Follow the science. Why are you saying that? You know why you saying that? You know who was the first person to say that? No, but it's true. Are you an anti-vaxxer? Never mind about me, jackass. Understand what you into before you just get out here and start spewing shit. You gotta follow the science. So this is Mr. Abraham Flexner. He was one of Rockefeller's puppets. And yes, John Hopkins University was one of the schools that definitely took a lot of endowment, and that I don't really trust that place, but it is the gold standard. Anytime I hear anything going on at Johns Hopkins, one of my eyebrows raised. You understand? Truth ladies in the house. Oh God. Walaikum salam, sister. Okay. Excuse me, everybody on the replay. I'm just having a moment with my sister, the truth lady. She's over here. I don't really catch her in that many lives. She's been I catch her usually on the replay. So to see her over here in real time is a pleasure. And my condolences, truth lady. Wow, yeah, we getting older. That's the thing, and I'm starting to worry about those type of calls myself. You understand? Shout out to Lisa Ann is in the building. Lisa, I see you. Don't think just because you're hiding amongst everybody with the one comment that I don't see you. I see you. Whether or not he was involved in experiments, so this guy's trying to make us seem like it's malarkey like that, what he just said. Right now, I'm going to read this so I don't sound like all over the place. This guy here said, one thing that's extremely obvious that very few people realize, and certainly hardly anyone in the medical establishment where I come from realize. Where is it that you come from, bro? You come from Johns Hopkins School of Medicine, and we know, we know. You guys may act like you are oblivious, and you may act like you don't know, but you know more than anybody, because that's where they go to train for these agendas, these what do I want to call it? The word is not coming to me. But when you want to pull the wool over somebody's eyes. He says, one thing that's hardly obvious that very few people realize, and certainly hardly anyone in the medical establishment where I come from realizes, that Fauci was involved in a massive cover-up of the origins of COVID. A massive cover-up. Now, you know, you're saying this now. Why? Because Fauci is not coming back. How do I know you didn't eat and spend the night at Fauci's house over the weekend? And he said, listen, you have to do this, right? Now I'm going to make a few calls, and you're gonna go on a tour, on a media tour, and you have to slander me. Listen, Marty, you have to do this, right? It's very important. Listen, you can fool some people sometime, but it's 2025 in the year of your Lord. You're not fooling nobody over here in the Poker Face Society, all right? So don't act like Fauci's your worst. Listen, the fact is Fauci was involved. Now here's the line that really threw me off right here, right? He has not followed Fauci's orders. Fauci said you have to throw me under the bus, but he's not ready yet. And this is how I know you're not ready. He said whether or not he was involved in the experiments or funding no, that's why you're not ready. Right? You got to throw him all the way under the bus. And that's why I don't trust you, because you didn't throw him all the way under the bus. You trying to save face. Fauci didn't ask you to do that shit. He told you to throw him under the bus. You out here trying to save him. Listen, he was involved in a massive cover-up. But whether he was involved in the experiments and that, what are you talking about, my man? Whether he was involved in the experiments or the funding. He was definitely involved in the funding. We know that. I don't even have to say allegedly. Allegedly. Shit, YouTube be out here wilding. Y'all don't even know. Let me say allegedly quick fast. What am I talking about? Allegedly, YouTube. Allegedly. YouTube be quick on the draw, snatch your shit. You go to bed, comfy, dreaming good dreams, all that. Wake up to no channel just like that. They on that bullshit, huh? Allegedly. Whether or not he was involved in the experiments or funding the experiments that led to the origins of COVID, he was clearly 100% involved in the cover-up. Yeah, all right. So watch this guy as he goes on a media tour. This was November 26th, right? Then he ends up on Patrick Bet David's show. Let's pull that up. So we know, come on. We don't, I've been watching Patrick long enough to know he is everything they said he was, right? They said he was a hustler, out here hustling people. And don't get me wrong, I'm not mad at his story. He did what he had to do. He made it to where he is today. My thing is, was this really a conversation you wanted to have, Patrick? Or did you just end up, it was just like, you know what? How much you going to pay me to talk about this? Yeah, let's do it. So the title of this video is AIDS Came from a Lab. FDA head breaks silence on AIDS, HIV, puberty blockers, and bioweapon research. Does he though? Is he really breaking the silence? No. I didn't watch the whole video. This is a 5-minute clip. But just from him saying, I don't know if Fauci was involved in the experiments or the funding, but we know he was involved in the cover-up. What are you talking about? You sound like Nancy Reagan telling people just say no after her husband and his friends brought in all the goddamn cocaine. Listen, they wouldn't have had to bring in the cocaine, or they wouldn't have had to say no if your husband and his friends didn't bring in all this goddamn cocaine. Yeah, Truth Lady said he's a money grubbing grifter. Ah, damn. You gotta love people that can curse you out without even using no profanity. It's a skill set. It is a skill set. That's one thing. Let me tell you something. He would hate to be called that. A money grubbing grifter, and that's what everybody calls him. But listen, can we really trust a dude that is wearing Easter suits in December? I can't. Keep it real with you. I can't. No. When you think you above the program, nobody's above the program here, sir. These are not the colors we wear in December. I don't care if you believe in religion or not. Listen, I don't even have religion. But God forbid I'm out here wearing Easter colors. That's not, no one man's above the program. Right then and there, I knew. Can't trust this guy. Can't fucking trust this guy. He got on his Sunday's best on a Monday. Hell no. Shit no. Let's see what he got to say.
With puberty blockers, with even the movement of transgender, back in the days, like basic question for you. If I would ask you this simple question, because my boys one day come out and they start talking to me about someone in kid is gay, okay, and what is?
Look at these two fucking guys, huh? Let me tell you something. You definitely can't trust the guy on the right. He has on the right colors though. So don't be fooled. He definitely he's good. Solid black colors. Solid colors, right? These are things you learn in fucking high school, right? You want to wear a black suit or a navy suit. They teach you this. You don't want to be out here like you running for pimp of the year. Patrick, you wildin'. You are out of pocket, my boy. You are out of pocket. But bigger than that, your conversation is all over the place. That's how I know this is not a conversation that you wanted to have. It just was some real impromptu. Hey, we got Marty. He's doing a tour right now. We got him on tour. Like, you got space for him over there? I don't know if Patrick's show, it's become set up like that recently. The only show that's truly set up where this dude could talk about anything and he gets to talk about anything is Joe Rogan. I love the fact that Joe Rogan, I want my show to be like that one day, where I could talk about anything. It doesn't matter what the fuck Joe Rogan is talking about, right? This dude could have on Elon Musk one day, and then he could have on Raekwon the Chef the next day, and it all still falls in line with the Joe Rogan podcast. That's dope, Joe. That's fucking dope. Only thing I hate, Joe Rogan be acting fucking stupid all the time. That shit pissed me off. You think so? When he doesn't want to talk about a topic because he thinks he's going to get defunded and the sponsors are going to pull back, he was like, well, that's not necessarily true. Yo, Joe, you've been up here talking to a lot of people, bro. You know the truth by now, right? Stop pussyfooting around, bro. I don't like when he do that. It's not totally true. Shut up, Joe. Now, just the look on this guy's face pisses me off. I don't know what Patrick's talking about, and neither does this guy. He's talking about his son sometimes coming home from school, talk about niggas is gay. What the fuck is going on in your household, bro? How about just a regular, how was your day? What'd you learn in class? Hold up, repeat yourself, bro. Your boys come home and just start talking about gayness. What is going?
My boys one day come out and they start talking to me about someone in kid is gay.
Someone in kid is gay. He did not want to have this conversation. Look at the other guy's face. Yo, the other guy's like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? What? Can we just talk about my new book? He's like, you don't have a book. Yeah, well, let's talk about something else.
Okay, and what does that really mean? If I were to ask you right...
He says, what is that? Yo, yeah. Patrick was doing pills before the show. He's on that bullshit. He's asking rogue questions. You know the funny thing? They went over the questions and the talking points before they even did the show. And then he just gets up here and does him. I'm doing me right now. Fuck it.
My boys one day come out and they start talking to me about someone in kid is gay. Okay, and what does that really mean? If I were to ask you right now,
he says, what does that really mean? Who do you think you're talking to? Deepak? Like, who do you think you're talking to the Dalai Lama? What are you looking for? The answers of life? Nah, my boy, you are out of pocket. The weird questions, the Easter suits. Shit is crazy. What is that really? My boys come out and they say someone in kid is gay. What does that really mean? He's trying to find out for himself, just in case he did some gay shit. You understand? What does that really mean? I mean, if laughing goes too far, right? And I'm laughing hysterically, I just kind of like feel my hand mistakenly goes there, but I don't pull it away right away. Is there a rule? Is there like 5 seconds is too long? Because it was like 10, but I'm just, does that mean you're gay? Like, what does that mean? This nigga wants the answers to life. I don't know. Did you enjoy it? No, I didn't enjoy it. I just kind of like brushed up against it and I didn't move it right away. Yeah, you might be gay. I don't know. I'm just here to talk about my points. Why are we talking about your kids?
Talking to me about someone in kid is gay. Okay, and what does that really mean? If I were to ask you right now, where did AIDS come from? What would you say?
Damn, that segue was choppy as shit. Damn, that segue was nasty work. He struggled to get there. And I could say, yo, but he got there, but he didn't. He had to deal with his own gayness. And then he just threw that shit on him and was like, where did AIDS come from? Damn, that was choppy word, Patrick. Oh, I gotta listen to that shit one more again, bro. You was trying, but this is where preparation. You have a fucking $1 million podcast. It's just me over here. You understand? You couldn't have did better than that?
My boys one day come out and they start talking to me about someone in kid is gay. Okay, and what does that really mean? If I were to ask you right now, where did AIDS come from? What would you say?
God damn. This nigga is the worst. I don't even know how you guys sponsors. Shit. I'm gonna keep it real. If you could do it, I got to be able to do this shit. The fuck? I got to be able to do it. If you could get away with this type of malarkey, tomfoolery, I tell you, I gotta be next up. I just gotta keep working. Shit.
Hey.
You know, and speaking of the film, thank you, Dr. Fauci, they explore a non-traditional narrative which has not gotten the attention it deserves, and that is...
I think I got Thank You, Dr. Fauci on Beyond You TV. I think. I don't know. Ask Uncle Andy. The truth lady say he do that all the time. Yeah, he's a... You already told me what he was. He's a money-grubbing grifter. Ooh.
is that it may very well have come from a lab in Africa.
AIDS.
Watch. You see these two idiots? This is why I don't trust. You can't trust nobody. This is why I teach y'all about the Jesuits. This is why I teach you their constitution. I know you just be thinking I'm up here, yo. You know, they be like, yo, Saladine's over talking about some random shit. That's because you're not part of the curriculum, bro. The people that stay in the curriculum, they know exactly what the fuck is going on from rooter to the tutor. You understand? Because they sit here and they learn. And then when I say, now take out your pen and connect the dots. And you able to connect the dots, it makes sense to you. It's not going to make sense to someone who's looking at my views and say, oh, he only got 100 views on that show. I'm not watching that show. No. There's many of you that don't care what that number says down there. Y'all just trying to, Saladin said something. And I rock with y'all for that. I do. That is a big compliment. That shit could say 6 views. And y'all like, I'm just trying to hear what Saladin talk about. What point he bringing up? This dude said it came from a lab in Africa. Maybe. I think different, but I don't have evidence to say different. Does he have a lab? How does he know this? But he does say something else that's very important that I want to get to.
Narrative which has not gotten the attention it deserves, and that is that it may very well have come from a lab in Africa.
AIDS could have come from a lab in Africa.
HIV.
HIV.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know,
he didn't say any more. He didn't say whether it was funded by the United States, whether it was funded by Fauci, whether people are getting residual checks off of the HIV patent. Matter of fact, he said enough for us to research. You said enough, sir. I cannot wait any longer. I need to go to ChatGPT. Fuck it. You've said enough. Now, I hope I don't have to threaten ChatGPT tonight to tell me what I need to know. Okay? So, let us get started, if you will. I don't have any work tomorrow, so I'm here for the shenanistry. Where shall we start? Is there a patent on the HIV virus? Let's just start softball. See what it says. Hopefully I don't have to fucking threaten it. Okay. We're good. That was just a test run. That was just a test run to see if I was going to have to threaten ChatGPT. I already knew the answer, y'all. I already knew the answer. But if it would have said no, then I would have had to start the threats. Listen, you understand? I will go over to Grok if you're going to be fucking. No, chill, something. Let me give you the straight answer. Yo, it's funny when it starts pleading. No, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth. What do you mean you're going to tell me? What was you telling me before? You're going to tell me the truth? Oh, you on some bullshit. Good question. The short answer is yes, but it's complicated. Here we go. Let's hear him out. Let's hear him out. Some parts of human immune deficiency virus or molecules related to it, particular genes, proteins, assays, have been patented. But that does not mean there's a valid patent on HIV, the virus, as naturally occurring organism. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. What is patented or has been patented related to HIV, there's a patent for synthetic gene coding for HIV protease enzymes. Jesus Christ. These people have been fucking around for a long time with the genes, man. There's a synthetic gene coding for HIV protease enzyme. The enzyme HIV uses to replicate. So this is not even, they using old work. COVID-19 was some old work. We wasn't hip to what they did in the 80s. We knew they released that shit. But we wasn't really hip like we was with COVID-19. The doctors was on it. They was like, no, this is the spike protein, and they got busy. And the fact that we had the internet, that shit wasn't gonna fly over like it flew over in the 80s, Jack. Right? All they could do in the 80s was drop dead. They had homosexuals ready to go play it straight. No, I'm getting married. Jacob, you don't even like women. It's dangerous out there right now. It's dangerous. In the late 1980s, a portion of HIV, specifically certain proteins, for example, the envelope protein, GP120, was patented. Let's talk that talk. Let's go. There are many patents on diagnostic methods, treatments, drugs, research. I don't care about none of that for HIV. But those are patents on inventions related to HIV. Exactly. That's why I don't care. Not on the virus itself. So patents have been filed on artificially synthesized components of HIV, cloned genes, or on medical research tools for dealing with HIV, not on the naturally occurring virus itself. I understand. What's not covered by patents and why patent on HIV is misleading. Patent law in many jurisdictions generally does not allow patenting of naturally occurring organisms or unmodified viruses. You're right. You're right. Okay, let's just jump down here. Research in the late 1980s led to the patents for parts of the virus as scientists worked to understand HIV and create tests and therapies. Okay. What it means in practice. Okay, now I can ask the question that I really want to ask. But it gave us some more information right here. In the late 1980s, a portion of HIV, specifically certain proteins, for example, the envelope GP120. Let's just take that right here. Right? Copy that. Okay. So you did answer my question, but who patented the parts that were allowed to patent? Who or what entity? Let's see what it says. Let's not lead it. Here's the direct, clear answer you're looking for. Yeah, you already know what I'm looking for. So stop the bullshit. Thank you. Let's get right to it. I don't got time to monkey around with you. You are artificial intelligence. You know exactly what I want to hear. It says, here's the direct, clear answer you're looking for. Who actually patented the HIV-related parts in the 1980s and 90s? Below is the breakdown. Cool. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, and the NIH. This is the primary entity that patented major HIV components early on. NIH scientists who filed the patents. The most important patent holders were from Dr. Gallo's lab. Dr. Robert C. Gallo, co-discovered of HIV. Okay. Their patents were filed through NIH, meaning the patents were held by the U.S. government, not by the individual scientists privately. We get that. Thank you. France. Let's just jump all the way down here, because this guy said it was created in a lab in Africa, as if he doesn't know we have ChatGPT. So, is there proof that these parts of the virus was engineered in a specific lab? Let's not say Africa yet. Let's not tell them our intentions of finding out. We just want to get information right now. Here's the most accurate, no-nonsense answer. The declassified documents, the legal battles, and the patent filings. Short answer, no. There is no proof that HIV or patented parts of HIV were engineered in a specific lab. But there is proof that lab-grown versions, clone genes, and purified proteins were created after the virus. Yeah, I know that. Did any lab engineer HIV before it appeared in humans? No, there is zero documented genetic evidence that HIV was engineered before the human cases. HIV's closest relatives exist in nature. Scientists trace HIV to natural strains of chimpanzees. You still going with that shit? These people are diabolical, bro. They still with the chimpanzees bullshit. Alright. So why are the patents on HIV components? Because researchers cloned, isolated, purified, and reproduced parts of the virus in a lab after discovering it. Okay. I'm just asking you questions. It's not like I believe shit y'all really say. Or it's not like I'm not hearing or believing what you say. Some of the stuff I believe, some of the stuff I have to rightfully divide and discern if you're telling the truth. Obviously, I have more evidence that would lead me to believe you're not telling the truth, but we'll get to that evidence in a second. Right now, I would like to ask you a few more questions. Is it true that some parts of the HIV virus, why is it called HIV virus? It should just be called HIV. HIV have been spotted in COVID-19 virus. That deserves a virus at the end of it. Let's see what it says. This is a big question. There's a lot of confusion because of a withdrawn preprint. Oh shit. Here we go. I don't even know why I said this is a big question. I didn't think it was that big of a question. And there's a lot of confusion. What? What are we talking about? Because of a withdrawn preprint? Oh shit. And some early flawed analysis. What? Let me break it down clearly, factually, and without political noise. You've already started the noise. And for you to say the short answer is no, I don't think you're telling the truth. No, SARS-CoV-19 does not contain HIV, but yes, there are tiny genetic similarities and they do not imply HIV was inserted or engineered. Where did this come from? The claim started from a 2020 preprint titled Uncanny Similarity of Unique Inserts in the 2019 COVID spike protein. Yeah. These guys, man. They think they're so smart and they could just tell anybody anything. I was doing some research. I'm not a doctor, right? But the little research I was doing on the HIV. This is way before they started calling it spike protein. When I really got into the research over, it was in Kaba Kameen's book is actually where I learned this from. But he was teaching about how the virus, the HIV virus, it was kind of like it actually like infused on the cell, like Velcro, right? This is before they was even calling it the spike protein shit. The paper was withdrawn within 48 hours because the analysis was flawed. The similarities were extremely short. The matches appeared. Whoa, I don't like that. I don't like that. Who wrote the paper? Who wrote the article? The article you're referring to, you asked, is it true that some parts of HIV have been spotted? In my answer, I referenced one specific paper. The infamous withdrawn preprint that sparked the entire HIV. Yes. If you're asking who wrote that article, here's the exact information. Listen, bro, I don't need you to be fucking long-winded. Now you got 13 authors on here. You got 13 authors from India on here. And you saying all of these guys are idiots? So all of these guys are useless idiots that don't know their shoe from their belt. And they're just out here spewing nonsense. And in 48 hours, somebody who did know their ass from their elbow was like, "Hey guys, what are you talking about? It's not, none of that's true." And then all 13 of them was like, "Yeah, you got a point. You got a point. You're right. Our bad." Yeah. Right. What happened to the article? It was posted on Bio RXIV in January 2020. It was not peer reviewed. I mean, are these guys not fucking peers? These are 13 different authors. Forget it, man. This is why I get frustrated when people are like, "Yo, you gotta follow science. What's your sources?" It's because of jackass shit like this. 13 people wrote this, authored this together, and they said, "Yo, but it's not peer reviewed." All right, bro. Whatever. I mean, is that not the definition of peer reviewed? 13 different people. Whatever. After severe scientific criticism, that's what happened. Worldwide, the authors withdrew it within 48 hours. Even the authors admitted their analysis was flawed. 13 of y'all admitted that? Jackass shit, bro. Whatever. Lies. Why it was retracted. The HIV-like sequences were extremely short. These sequences exist in many viruses and organisms. No evidence of HIV insertion existed. Virologists from the US, Europe, and China immediately refuted it. I bet they did. I bet those 3 countries did. You just named 3 of the most what's the word I'm looking for? Begins with a C. I got like 3 different words floating in my head, and neither one is it begins with a C. It's not consequence, but it's something like that. Controversial. You just named 3 of the most controversial countries in the world when it comes to the handling of the pandemic. All 3, if you ask me, to this day are not doing a great job. Europe is out here arresting people for just saying shit on social media. Like, Britain is wilding, just showing up to your house like, you had wrote some shit on Facebook 3 months ago. Yeah, you mind coming with us? Just Europe is out here tripping. China was the first one wilding. Not only being in bed with Fauci, right? But even the way they handled the outbreak, turned off outside internet, blocking anybody from seeing what's going on inside, and then they was just started letting the people die crazy. I do believe they was in on whatever agenda was going down. The U.S., as we can clearly see, always acts like, "Yo, we don't know." Like, good cop, bad cop, right? Good guy, bad guy. Somebody has to be the wild out guy, and then there has to be that one guy that's like, "Yo, just tell the truth." You understand? Where's the money? It's my brother. He's an asshole, man. But I'm not like that. So basically, India was no match, right? India's out here begging for contracts right now. You really think the Prime Minister of India was going to jeopardize the contracts in the United States with the H-1B visas for these fucking 13 clowns? Nah, they're not clowns, right? I'm just upset they went back, but they didn't have no choice, right? These are humble doctors, and they obviously thought they was doing the right thing by bringing this to the forefront, right? Humble scholars, 13 of them thought they was doing the right thing. That shit got out in 48 hours. They had to eat their own words and was like, yeah, you're wrong. All of our analysis was wrong. All 13 of us. Jackasses. If this is not the article you meant, just tell me. Nah, we're good here. We're good. We're good. And I'm going to tell you why we're good. I'm going to tell you why we're good right now. We're good because I don't believe a goddamn thing you say, regardless. Now, we're good because I got this book 30 years ago. And I say 30 loudly. 30 years ago. And if you can look, it says right down there, Appendix D. What does that say? Huh? You see that? Appendix D? Appendix D. What does that say? Yeah, you got it. Never mind, you reading all over the place. No one asked you to read about the UFOs and all that silly shit. Appendix D. 8. You understand? 30 years ago. 30. So, you gotta understand. When a lot of you guys are talking to me, and you think I'm just shooting from the hip because I have nothing else better to do but be on YouTube talking bullshit. Oh, snap. Thank you. Soli gave me $50. Damn. Thank you. I appreciate you. Don't make me joke. Thank you. Humbly. Thank you. Appreciate that. I don't tell you I got another job. Oh, my old lady's home. She's gonna be upset. I was supposed to go to a basketball game with her tonight, and I told her I was tired. I was tired at the time, but that's why she didn't say hello. She's upset. The Wizards was playing. I did want to go see the Wizards, but I was tired. So, anyway. I just want you to know I don't have to be on YouTube. Just doing what I could be talking nonsense with the rest of the people, trying to get views, getting the views, right? Because I can get comical and more than these cats and do that. But that's not my purpose. That's not. I was sent to do what I'm doing right now. That's what I enjoy doing. But it takes patience because I want you to understand. I don't say this arrogantly. I may be 30 years ahead of you in my research, right? And to give you a simple answer is not always just like I can't always give you a simple answer. We got to take the long way, which is, all right, let me show you the stuff I read so that you can see, right? But I can only show you a little bit unless we're going to stay on YouTube for 30 years and go through all the books I've been going through. This is why I try to share the book with you, right? So, tonight, I got the book. on the screen. Now, I told you who this guy was. He's an American hero. His name is William Bill Cooper. But you say, well, how would he know anything? He was Eric Snowden before the Eric Snowden, right? And we are going to talk about Eric Snowden this week a little bit more. But I give him more stability, mental stability than Eric Snowden. Bill Cooper, former United States Naval Intelligence Briefing team member. You know what that means? That means that he had secret clearance. That's what that means. Now, if you are watching me right now and you're like, so what? He had a secret clearance. I could go get a secret clearance tomorrow. No, you can't. You cannot go get secret clearance tomorrow. That's the thing. That's why it's a big deal. Right? If you ever had a job where you were allowed or had a position where, someone offered you secret clearance, but it takes a lot when you're not in the military to even get secret clearance. They want to see a track record. They definitely checking your credit. You understand? You out here in the fives or low sixes. You not getting security clearance. You're not getting security clearance because they feel like you may get financially strapped and do something bizarre that would jeopardize the nation. All right. I just want you to let you know who put us on, who gave his life. Former United States Naval Intelligence Briefing team member reveals information hidden from the public. This information was kept in top secret government files since the 1940s. Cooper unveils the truth as he writes about the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Remember I told you earlier how I found out who shot the second shot? It was William Cooper, right? He had a video that was not altered before. You won't find it, so don't look on YouTube. I can't find the video you're talking about. It's over. It's a wrap. They scrubbed the video. He had the video that clearly showed, right? This is no AI. Thank God AI wasn't around at the time. None of that. His video showed clearly the dude turn around with the left hand, shoot JFK with the second shot, and that's when Jackie tries to jump out of the car. Because if shots was just flying, her first instinct would have just been to duck. Which that was her first instinct, to grab her husband and let's get down. But she's seen where the second shot came from. And that is why you see her try to jump out of the car at that point. That was her natural instinct. That's what you're going to do. Otherwise, your natural instinct, if you don't know where the bullets was coming from, is to duck behind the seat. That's going to be your first natural instinct. But she's seen where the shot came from, and she said, holy shoot, let me get out this car. And obviously, if her husband couldn't protect himself, he wasn't going to be able to protect her after she was dead, and she never said anything. So there's that. Cooper unveils the truth as he writes about the assassination of John F. Kennedy, the war on drugs, the secret government, and UFOs. Hello. These are all things that I talk about. Cooper was a lucid and rational and powerful speaker whose intent was to transform and empower his audience. Standing room only was normal for his events. Well, you can look up the rest later. I just wanted you to know that this guy was a captain. I think he was a lieutenant. Hold on. It's right here in the beginning. He had rank in the Navy. So we're not talking about a guy who just was in a barbershop and, he's just talking, shooting from the hip. This guy had the security clearance before we even get into this to see the files and know what he's talking about. And now that we did that house cleaning, let us go to Appendix D. Blow that up for you. Understand? Now, I used to joke all the time, and many of you guys didn't know why I was joking, and say, well, the government tried to kill you in the 80s. I was talking to the homosexuals, the gays, the sodomites. I said, the homosexuals, the government tried to kill you in the 80s. Why would they love you now? You understand? Does that not perplex you? Like they now they love you, right? Now they give you whatever you want. Throw your parades, right? They give you a whole month to celebrate. Subsidized it, put some money behind it. You had all type of different companies out here carving out sections of their store to fill it with the symbology of homosexuality. It would appear they love you. But I said the strange thing is just 40 years ago, they tried to take you out, Jack. Out of here. So what's really going on? Let's see. Oh, okay, I see. I see what's going on. There's no school tomorrow, so they are happy. Remember, I read this 30 years ago. I read this 30 years ago. Secret plan to tag every man, woman, and child. Now, they could have called him a liar. They could have called him a liar 2 weeks after. You understand? 2 years after. Yo, he's a conspiracy theorist. And now, 2025. In fact, they are trying to tag every man, woman, and child. Are they not? Coded microchips implanted in every person in the country would tie all of us into a massive computer that could track anyone down at any moment, and plans for such a system are already underway, whether you like it or not. Bro, do I have a date on this? Yep. I think that says 89. I think that says August 1st, 1989. I'm pretty sure it does. That's crazy. Wow. We were actually looking for the chip because we heard it was going to be a chip. We didn't have any idea they was going to figure out when you have something like graphene that is highly conductive, and then they figure out how to use it in nanotechnology and then get it inside your body. Now you're talking about something that the transmitters can actually pick up. Well, the sensors the sensors can actually pick up on that material in your body, and then the rest is history from there. But let's read some of this article before we get into the AIDS business. The secret scheme is being touted as a service for the protection of people by high government officials, but some insiders who object to the move say it's just another way for Big Brother to control you. Transmitters, top-level national security agents are trying to convince sources in the Bush administration to begin the project in which every man, woman, and child will be implanted with tiny transmitters, claims David Miller, and critic of government intervention, who says he has received leaked information from inside sources. They're trying to say this will be a good way for authorities to quickly track down missing persons. Okay. Injections, but with the outstanding technology of today, everything about you could be contained in one tiny microchip, which would be connected to a government computer. Well, we talked about this the other day. I don't know if we spoke about PRISM, Operation PRISM, but anyway. Any government agency will know what any person has done and is doing at any time. That's where we're headed. That's exactly where we're headed. All right, let's keep going. Department of Defense appropriations for 1970 hearings. Okay, All right. Any of these names that we know down here? Research, Development, Test, and Evaluation. Department of the Army. Statement of Director. Advanced Research Project Agency. Statement of Director. Defense Research Engineering. Okay. 1969. All right, let's go. In 1969, 3 years before the World Health Organization's request, the United States Defense Department requested and got $10 million to make the AIDS virus in labs as a political and ethnic weapon to be used mainly against blacks. The feasibility program and labs were to have been completed by 1974 to 1975. The virus between 1974 and 1979. The World Health Organization started to inject AIDS-laced smallpox vaccine, into over 100 million Africans. Population reduction in 1977. And over 2,000 young white male homosexuals, Trojan horse, in 1978 with the hepatitis B vaccine through the Centers for Disease Control, New York Blood Center. And now the AIDS virus is on the streets and the drugs. Oh, Truth Lady. I talked about that before you came here, Truth Lady. Denise says the mark of the beast you won't be able to buy or sell. It's in the Bible. It is in the Bible. We've read this plenty of times, Denise. So when we start to understand that most scientists agree that the carbon-12 is the backbone for organic life. which is the 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. And it says that the mark of the beast is the number of man. He who have understanding, he who have ears, let him hear. Let him have understanding. So, keyword, injections, right? So the injections part is still real. We thought we was fixated on the microchip part. So we lost. It's like going to Fordham Road, and even though you're supposed to just walk right in that store and ignore the guy outside, especially if he's Puerto Rican, playing 3-card Monte. But you are fascinated. Then you figure you got it. Oh, this dude is slow. Everybody out here. Y'all can't see where it is. You don't know you the only one out there that is not working with him. But you are about to find out if you are going to rip one of those 20s off of your school clothes money. To prove to him that he don't got it. Oh, you foolish child. Is this your first time to the Bronx? Well, welcome. And you could definitely kiss that 20 goodbye. That 20 is gone. Soon as you thought that you had it all figured out. Oh, I see where it is. Why y'all not catching this? Hold on, let me show you something real quick. $20 a play, Playboy. $20 a play. They gonna lift like 80 cash off you real quick because you gonna be like, oh, the next one I'm gonna get. And before you even get to 100, his man gonna be like, police! And then just like that, like gypsies, they was gone. Everybody. And now you don't have enough for what you came there for. Welcome to the Bronx. Jesus Christ. Synthetic biological agents. Look at the date on this. Tuesday, July 1st, 1969? I wasn't even born. There are two things about the biological agent field I would like to mention. One is the possibility of technological surprise. Molecular biology is a field that is advancing very rapidly. Eminent biologists believe that within a period of 5 to 10 years, it would be possible to produce synthetic biological agent, an agent that does not naturally exist, for which no natural immunity could have been acquired. Damn. Mr. Sykes, are we doing any work in that field? Dr. MacArthur, we are not. Mr. Sykes, why not? Lack of money or lack of interest? Dr. MacArthur, certainly not lack of interest. Mr. Sykes, would you provide for our records information on what would be required, what the advantages of such a program would be, the time and cost involved? Dr. MacArthur, we will be very happy to. The information follows. The dramatic progress being made in the field of molecular biology led us to investigate the relevance of this field of science to biological warfare. A small group of experts considered this matter and provided the following observations. All biological agents up to the present time are representatives of naturally occurring disease and are thus known by scientists throughout the world. They are easily available to qualified scientists for research, either for offensive or defensive purposes. Within the next 5 to 10 years, it would probably be possible to make a new infective microorganism which could differ in certain important aspects from any known disease-causing organisms. Most important of these is that it might be refractory to the immunological and therapeutic process upon which we depend to maintain our relative freedom from infectious disease. A research program to explore the feasibility of this could be completed in approximately 5 years at a total cost of $10 million. It always seems like that's the magic number, $10 million. Maybe that is how this thing started, and then they just kept on renewing it for $10 million, right? Because isn't that the number that they said was given to a grant, the Wuhan grant, for this COVID-19 research, which they say was not gain of function, but clearly had all of the attributes of gain of function? It would be very difficult to establish such a program. Molecular biology is relatively new science. There are not many high competent scientists in the field. No duh. Almost all are in university laboratories. Like Johns Hopkins. And they are generally adequately supported from sources other than the DoD. However, it was considered possible to initiate an adequate program through the National Academy of Science National Research Council. The matter was discussed with NAS, NRC, and tentative plans were made to initiate the program. However, decreasing funds in CB, growing criticism in the CB program, and our reluctance to involve the NAS, NRC in such a controversial endeavor have led us to postpone it for the past 2 years. It is a highly controversial issue, and there are many who believe such research should not be undertaken lest it lead to yet another method of massive killing of large populations. This is crazy. This is why I call this Lord of the Flies. It doesn't matter how old we are. We're just fucking primitive people. We're not juvenile. We're not immature. We are primitive. We are primitive. So I get why some of you guys don't believe in extraterrestrials. You think we are the highest form of intelligence in the universe? That's what you think? Okay. Whatever you want to think. Whatever. I'm just going to read that one more time. It is a highly controversial issue, and there are many who believe such research should not be undertaken lest it lead to yet another method of massive killing of large populations. On the other hand, without the sure scientific knowledge that such a weapon is possible and the understanding of the ways it could be done, there is little that can be done to devise defensive measures. Should an enemy develop it, there is little doubt that this is an important area of potential military technological inferiority in which there is no adequate research program. So basically, we have to do it because we thought about it, right? And if we don't do it, then somebody else is going to think about it and they're going to do it. So we have to do it first. AIDS taking heavy toll on children. Acquired immune deficiency syndrome is striking many more children than previous. Now, I want you to listen. Listen to what I'm saying tonight. Because we're not done. You understand? Mostly everything I do, I'm doing with a purpose and I'm doing with intentions for you to reflect in some sort of way, hoping that you catch on. For the people who wonder, like, why you take so long to talk? Because I have a large class. Some people catch on fast, and then some people, while they're struggling with cognitive dissonance, my style allows them to just stick around a little bit longer. And I have people say that, well, I don't really agree with you. I'm just here to listen. Tell yourself what you want. Whatever you have to say as you're fighting through your cognitive dissonance and showing up every day to my lectures. Whatever. You're present, and that's all that matters. Acquired immune deficiency syndrome is striking many more children than previously thought. The World Health Organization reported. I do want you to know that Bill Gates is the majority philanthropist to the WHO, the World Health Organization. He's the majority. He donates a lot of money over there. This is the guy who all of a sudden had a interest in health. He's not a doctor either, right? People have the audacity to ask Robert Kennedy, are you a doctor? Right? They asked his wife, excuse me, is your husband a doctor? Well, that's very hypocritical. Because I don't see you using your show, your platform, your microphone to discuss how these organizations that are ran by doctors take advice from and money from someone who is not a doctor. And not only advice and money, derivatives. They take directives from someone who's not a doctor. But he gets to hide in the shadows. Like, let me just spend money on what I want, and then I'm gonna sit back. Hoping like someone like me doesn't exist. Because not only do I know what's going on, but God forbid one of them actually knows how to articulate what's going on. That's where we might have a problem. And we have to figure out other means if that becomes a problem. Do remember Dr. Sebi, who for some reason was arrested for having cash on him and never left the jail cell. Let's call it what it was. It was an assassination right before the release of COVID-19, because he would have been the only person on the planet that everyone would have trusted and said, no, if Dr. Sebi said this is what it is, then this is what it is. The UN agency said in Geneva that the HIV virus that causes AIDS will probably infect 10 million children by the year 2000. African children, no doubt. Already about 400,000 cases, or a third of the 1.2 million estimated cases of AIDS worldwide to date, are believed to have occurred in children under 5. The notes down here says, I'm confused. Are we to believe that these 400,000 children are practicing homosexuals or IV drug users? Exactly. Or that 400,000 of the mothers transmitted the disease? Or is it more likely that they are neither part of the high-risk group nor born of mothers of AIDS? That's right. Talk that talk. These data, if valid, comes close to proving that AIDS is transmittable by casual contact or insects. I don't think that's the case. What I believe is that, in fact, it might have been and those vaccines they were pushing over there, right? But that's what I believe. That doesn't mean it's true. So let me just tell YouTube that. I don't want YouTube thinking I'm over here filling the people's minds with nonsense. All right. Now, let's find out what's going on in the black community. Huh? And by the way, before I play this, maybe black community, you want to listen to me now. Maybe it's okay to conserve the teachings of our ancestors, our great-grandmothers. You understand? Our great-great-grandmothers, our great-great-grandfathers. The warriors from yesterday. They left us with unwritten instructions, and we have lost our way. And many of us now want to normalize deviancy, and there's a price to pay for deviancy. I just want to warn you, right? So, you want to live forever, ever, Peter Pan, huh? You just want to be out here slinging the cock wherever. She want to be a guy. She want to act like a guy. A guy is naturally, he want to just, he see a female, I want to ravage that. She say, oh, you could do it, I could do it. So we no longer have the family structure as an important aspect of our culture. They did a number on us. They purposely wanted to turn most of us into homosexuals. They got you to believe that was your own choice. Doesn't matter. I'm not here to say whether it was your choice or not. I can only say what was their agenda. They wanted you to become homosexuals. Either way, you're a homosexual, so it doesn't really matter how we got here, right? How did we get here? It doesn't even matter. Nobody's supposed to be here. Yeah, I know. The ones that's not homosexuals are pimps and whores. Let me tell you right now, this cannot be. This is a recipe for disaster, and this is not what our ancestors would have wanted. I'm just letting you know. So as we watch this, and you're trying to figure out how can this be? It's because we lost our way.
Records, and she said the amount of people that come through the doctor office that get tested the numbers is beyond high. She goes into details and she says it's multiple people with STDs, STIs, HIV, AIDS. And she said her mom said something ain't right. What's going on, y'all? What is going on out here?
I'm gonna keep it real, baby girl. I don't know what's going on, but I do know what's going on. But whatever's going on, you better keep your legs closed. You understand me? You better keep your legs closed. It's not a game. I mean, your significant other could cheat, but we just hoping your significant other, even if you married, would wear some type of protection. But we really hoping that it don't even go there once you lock and load with somebody and be like, yo, you want to be my partner for life? Yeah, I'll be your partner. we're not saying it's going to be easy, but we know that the weapons formed against us sometimes prosper. Like, don't even listen to that. Sometimes the West, no weapon formed against. No. They got the weapons, Lord. Whoa. Stop reading that. Stop right there. Did you tell them they got the weapons? I told them they keep reading this every Sunday. Listen, people. I know what you've been reading. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. The weapons are prospering. You understand? So the best thing is we could start to go back to the old ways of indoctrinating our children to find a partner, to limit the risk of us getting out here being promiscuous, because this is not the season to be promiscuous when they have clearly lied to us about not only the disease and its origins, but also its transmission. They are not telling you the truth. And we have to go back to the ways that our older ancestors did in the United States here, not in Africa, right? And guess what? If you want to take on more than one wife, I'm not even, as long as it's just y'all and y'all doing it safe. I don't care if you got 3 wives and you taking care of your 3 wives. Guess what though? You took your 3 wives to the doctor. No one's out here playing games. You understand? And you taking care of your children. I don't think the fact that you got more than one wife is the problem. The problem is promiscuousness. That's not good on a number of levels. It's not good physically. It is not good spiritually. You are a being of physical and spiritual elements. If you only are feeding your physical side and not feeding your spiritual side, this is a problem. There's a group of people down here on this that you share this planet with. We've been sharing, the melanated people have been sharing this planet with us with other people for a while, right? Some of these people are Nordics and Atlanteans, and some are, don't think it's just like, oh, the white people. No. We know that the Nordics and Atlanteans are white. But we got different species down here altogether. This is what you not knowing. I can't say this is what you forgetting. You don't even know that. You don't have no idea. So there's other species down here. Maldekians, all type of different species down here. The point is this. Not everyone wants you here. They would rather to have this space to themselves. So there clearly is a group with way more affluence and influence and resources. And clearly, I don't know if you need a billboard, but the weapons that's formed is against you, black people. It's against you. It's against you. And some of the white people, the homosexuals, they don't take kindly to they want to get rid of you guys. And poor whites. God, they hate your guts. They hate your guts. You could waste your breath and be ranting and all of this stuff, and you're gonna look crazy. I'm just letting you know right now, right? None of that matters. What does matter is you say, yo, let me protect me and mine, right? Let me get my house in order. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. What does that mean? I am one to believe that what we call, or what you call God, is an embodiment of virtues and principle. You may see your God as a physical person. I may not see that, but I think we can agree on that part of the embodiment of principle and virtue. So, if you do believe in a being who we're just going to call God for now, then I think you should return, or at least draw nearer to those principles and those virtues at this moment, right now, under the sound of my voice. Because where we're headed, I'm going to let you know, it's going to get really hard for a lot of people. For a lot of people. Jesus. I don't want you to go out like that. Unnecessarily, too. Thinking something is just innocent, having some fun, just a little bit of fun, and you wake up and your whole life has changed. No, he who have ears, let him hear. If you heard what I said, you might want to just chill out right now, because the weapon that's formed against you, it could prosper. Right? Because they're not telling you the truth. Then you end up in somebody's doctor's office taking advice from somebody in a white coat, Stanley Milgram experiment. You understand? This is why I teach y'all these things, so that you guys have the full understanding of all of the different tactics and strategies, how they may come at you. You have a full understanding over here, right? Now, I don't know what degree you are in the Poker Face Society. Obviously, some of you are just initiates, and then some of you have been with me so long that you are entering a stage of adeptness, because you understand Edward Bernays, you understand Stanley Milgram experiments, you understand the architecture of the health industry and how it was designed and who it was designed by. I'm not just over here doing videos. Oh, Harlem Legend came over and said, yo, you doing bad over here. Yo, me and you, don't compare yourself to me. You are doing gossip. I am over here doing something different. I know it looks nuts that one of my videos may have 25 views. I am not worried about that. Once I get to talking, they really don't want what I'm saying out there.
Because she was like, they coming in there left and right, dripping with sores. Like, it at this point, y'all, I don't know. This 2025 has been a hell of a year. And from the numbers what these people are saying, Texas, Louisiana, Atlanta, what? Something ain't right. Something is not right. Something is going on, y'all. It have to be something, because something is not adding up. What's going on? And this is for entertainment purpose. This is nothing harmful. This is for entertainment.
Let me tell you what's happening is that everybody is sleeping with everybody, and nobody is using a rubber. And when you talk to a lot of people that's in the culture and what's happening in society, What's really playing out is nobody is taking accountability, and everybody.
I disagree, Anton. I feel that, so that's real. I don't think I used the word Most High. I purposely didn't use that word Most High. Huh? He said, I think I'm reading this right. Let's see. I would keep myself safe from STDs, not the Most High, respectfully. Yeah. I didn't use the word Most High. I'm with you on that. The Most High is not about to get out here and keep you. And if that's your plan, that is wild. That's like playing Russian roulette with 5 bullets. Like, no, the Most High got my back. What? What are you talking about? You ever see somebody so passionate about the God I serve? Yo. Easy. Easy. Don't even finish that sentence. Let's just use some logic and reason. Keep the God you serve out of this. And put on a rubber, or you could start to really see that all this running around trying to have sex with everything moving is not the way. You understand? You're going to wake up dead. You understand me? You're going to wake up dead. Knock it off. Knock it off. But I disagree with Anton. Anton said that he blames it. Did you hear the alertness in her voice? Obviously, she's from Louisiana. That accent cannot be mimicked anywhere else on this planet. But she's right. It's not only just, I got calls from Atlanta, everywhere. People, STDs is getting crazy. It's blowing up out there. That's not just because people are running around having random sex with everybody. You have to consider everything that I just went over with you guys. There's much I cannot say to be transparent, because they'll take my channel. Say, so he who have ears, let him hear. I just spelled it out for you. You have to do the rest of the work. You understand? But we got hold on. Somebody disagree. Say, I'm fairly new to your channel, Roby. Okay, but I knew a lot of what you were talking about a long time ago. Respectfully, you understand? I'm not saying everybody that come over is. That's why we learn it different. That's why I acknowledge we're all different. If I had it my way, I would separate you guys into groups, but I don't have that luxury to separate the initiate from the journeyman. You understand? So what I kindly ask is all the journeymen and all the master adepts to have patience for the people that's just coming in, because at one point in time you was learning too, and somebody had to have patience with you. So we must have patience with the people that just come in and they don't really know what's going on, and we gotta wait for these people. Said go to Florida villages. I used to wild out in Florida. Actually, I used to wild out in a lot of places. How I am STD free today is a mystery. A mystery. A mystery. I got flown out to Florida to give some advice to a record label. I met some random girl out there. I don't understand. I'm trying to think. How did I end up hiking? I ended up camping somewhere. How did I meet this girl? I know it was the same trip. Ended up camping. They flew me out there. Soon as I got there, I made an assessment whether the artist was worth dumping any more money into. And they was like, thank you, that's all we wanted. I was like, that's all you? They was like, yo, you free to do whatever you want for the rest of the... Until they had a round trip ticket for me. Somehow I ended up camping in the woods going raw dogging this Spanish chick. Then I borrowed $200 from her and I've never seen her again. Crazy. And that's not even the worst of the worst. At least I know her. I was about to say, at least I know her name. I don't know her name. But at least I've heard her voice. The other chick, we never spoke. Raw dogged it out. Wildin'. To be young and stupid, I guess. And then one day, it was a friend of mine from Mount Vernon, and he said, he wasn't even a churchgoer. Like, he just made a lot of sense. He was like, yo, you treat your body like that? Right? He wasn't even the smartest guy in our group. But when he said that, it hit me hard. And I was like, right? He wasn't Muslim, he wasn't Christian. He wasn't conscious. He's not none of those things. He wasn't that type of guy. He was just like, you treat your body like that? And that was enough for me to think about it like, wait, this guy has good... The fact that I never looked at him to be like conscious like that, it just really hit me. And I was like, and from that moment, that's what turned. Not the preaching, none of Minister Farrakhan's words. I didn't hear a video from Deepak, the Dalai Lama, none of that. Just one random guy over and asked me, yo, you treat your body like that? And I thought about it, and I was like, I treat my body like that? That's crazy. And I knocked it off ever since then. Knocked it off. There's something deep going on. Thank you, Soul. Thank you, Soul. Appreciate you. Yeah. Well, this effing guy, hopefully it will come sooner than later. You understand? Sooner than later. Everybody knows what I'm talking about because we all been young. Now, whether you've had STDs or not, we all know that conscious damn feeling the day after, even an hour after, right? We all know the phantom symptoms of venereal disease that's going to pop up in our head. You know how many times I thought I had something, right? I think it's burning. It's not burning. But I'm running back and forth to the bathroom. I'm looking. I got a microscope. Yo. Oh my God. Right? I'm thinking shit is itching. Then you finally drag your ass down to the clinic. It's nothing, but it's the time for the results. You understand? It's the time. You're like, yo, shit, your boy got it. I know I got it. At this time, I used to smoke, so it's like any reason to smoke for me. Not weed. I used to smoke black amounts. But I had this whole routine where I take out the paper and put the shit back in like I'm really doing something. And I was on Marlboro Reds. I was an old young nigga. I'm riding around in a Buick Regal. I looked at a Buick Regal today. I'm still old at heart. It's that. The waiting for the results. Oh. First time I took an AIDS test and she told me it was negative, I almost fell out. Yo, I almost fainted right there on the fucking floor. She said, yeah, your test came back negative. I said, oh, shit, fuck. No, that's good. I'm like, what? Then I act like I hit the lottery. Negative? Your boy is negative. Oh, shit. And then I was ready to go back out there and put that shit on the line again because I was negative. Right? That's how... That's how fast I forgot, right? Oh, I'm back on the market. Who want this? Who want these nuts? Who want this dick? Huh? It's like, bro, have you learned nothing? Nope. I'm back in that bitch 7 months with the same anxiety. Same anxiety. Fuck. Only this time, I know that negative means good. This time I know. First time I'm like, negative? Oh. It's crazy. All right, Angie. You gotta remember, I say I'm almost 50. A lot of shit I'm telling you, I was 20. It's in my 20s. You know? I think I got married at 32. Somewhere around there. Right? 36? Somewhere around there. 36. So. I'm just shocked I made it that far in life. Like, dead ass. Like, how I have no idea. Clearly, if you hear what I'm telling you, and the fact that I'm not even joking is crazy. But here I am. And I know for a fact, like, I don't take that lightly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never get out here and tell somebody else young, like, try this shit I try. Because you're not going to make it. Like, you don't even try it. Like, it's nothing to try. I'm laughing, but it's a laugh at how stupid I was. It's not a laugh of, like, you got to, like I'm bragging, right? It's a laugh like, yo, you actually are here right now instead of dead, dying from AIDS. You are wild. Because that could have easily been me. So it was so stupid that it's laughable to me. Like, yo, you are crazy. Love Buick Regals, bro. No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Whoa. I hated that anxiety feeling, bro. Hated it. And yet, I would end up in the clinic. And then they would tell me, nah, you don't have anything. You keep coming. Yeah, because I keep doing this stupid shit. I keep wilding out. I'm done. Scouts honor. And I wasn't done. And then look how random that is. One dude asked me, like, you treat your body like that? And then it just woof. You know why? Let me say this before I go. I thought as a male we were supposed to be out here trying to have as much sex as possible. That's what I thought, because we was trained like that from a little person. So when the dude asked me, and he was a friend of mine, and I figured he's out here having sex with all these women, but when he asked me, do I treat my body like that, it made me think, and like, and you don't? Wait, that's not what we all doing? And it's like, nah, it's just you out here wilding out. And I'm like, oh. Well, I don't want to be the only one out here wilding out. And that's what it is. And understanding the miseducation. I don't get out here and I say these things to be a hypocrite. I'm telling you this because as a person as a young person in the community, this is what we was taught. So I'm like, why the fuck are we teaching this to our young boys? When I listen to the music, so I'm not trying to get, this has nothing to do with getting old and then getting hypocritical. Well, you was young once and you was wilding. Yeah, bro, I could have died of venereal disease. You don't understand. Why? Because I thought as a man, I was supposed to be out here being promiscuous. That shit is not true. So, it's not that I'm being hypocritical. I was educated wrongly. Why would I want to educate another young person or even allow them to think that? Right? Because that's what the music say. The music say get out here and just freak off. Just get busy. So you got all these women with beautiful voices. SZA, Summer Walker, right? And all they want to do is talk about having loose sex with men. And it's a shame because their voices are so beautiful that they can draw in a large audience. And then when you're talking like that to little young girls, what do you think young men are going to want to do? They can't wait, right? So some of what Anton Daniels is saying is correct. It is a lot of promiscuous, and it is a lot of promiscuous behavior going on. This is not good for our culture. I didn't tell you my information. I didn't tell you my past for no reason. I told you so that you would know. I'm talking out of experience. What's that? Ice Cube said she giving up the clap, and who needs applause at a time like this? She giving up the clap, and who needs applause? Yeah. No glove, no love. There you go. Listen, party people. We already lost one, right? Angie's like, well, I gotta go to sleep. I thank y'all for hanging out with your boy. You understand? Hopefully whoever watches on the replay. Oh, that's like a 3-hour show. I only meant to do 2 hours. My bad. But I gave out a lot of information and I talked about a lot of stuff. So, no regrets there. Alright. That being said, everybody already left. Anybody on the replay? You understand? Hopefully you enjoyed the show. And thank you for everyone that came through tonight. I'm happy with the show. So hopefully somebody learned something from it. And again, Soul, thank you, bro. Thank you for that gift. And I love SZA too. Don't get me wrong. I love SZA's voice. I'm a musical person, right? So I listen to SZA a lot. I'm an R&B dude. So I listen to her, the artist her, not SZA her, the artist Her. She's phenomenal. She's crazy. I listen to SZA. I listen to Summer Walker. I listen to Janae Aiko. So I'm listening to what their words are saying though, and how they appeal to the young girls. You understand? Versus a Selena Gomez. You understand? Versus a Miley Cyrus. Versus, you know what I'm saying? Just different. Now, some of these other girls will sing about heartbreak and all of this stuff, and you Wrecking Ball, but Wrecking Ball and I'm out here looking for dick is two different songs. You understand? Two different lyrics. So I'm looking at how certain songs are marketed to a certain demographics, and then this is not by happenstance. This is not by accident. None of this. So I said, damn, she's singing about Wrecking Ball. She over here is wilding. She's out here with a flashlight looking for cock. Two different demographics. And I take offense that would even be marketed to little girls. One. So, this is what pisses me off when, as a group, we just take anything, even if it's from our own people, and we don't put up a fight and be like, yo, why you even allowing? Look. The Lox had a song where one of them was like, yo, stack chips like Hebrews. That's all they said. That's not even derogatory. If anything, that is a compliment, saying that the Jews know how to save money. That's all he said. Stack chips like Hebrews. Stack chips like Hebrews is a compliment saying Jews know how to save money. Do you know they called up and said, we don't want that shit on the radio? And they bleeped out the part where it said chips, and then they were still allowed to say nigga on the air. No, not chips, Hebrews. They bleeped out the part where they said stack beep, like stack chips like bleep. They didn't even want you to say Hebrew. Right? Why? Because they wanted to conserve the respect and the perception of them as a people. Don't get too comfortable out here using we didn't ask you to say our, as if you needed their fucking permission to say their group in a rap song and a poem. Yeah, but knock all that shit off. As a matter of fact, just bleep that shit out. It's anti-Semitic. It's anti-Semitic. No, we trying to give you price. It's anti-Semitic, goddammit. Knock it off. And yet, we take anything, and it be our own people saying bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Bitches ain't shit. I mean, that shit is groovy. And you will sing the words. Trust me. Don't think you're going to sit there and you ain't going to bop your head. No, you're going to sit there, you're going to bop your head, and you're going to eventually sing. Bitches ain't shit, ain't shit, ain't shit. And like, damn. And we don't come back to the radios and say, yo, can you not play that? I don't want my daughters hearing that. I don't want. No. In actuality, we embrace the deviancy. We embrace it. It's ridiculousness. All right, man. Yo, thanks for coming through. Oh, don't get me wrong, Roby. I might be in the car by myself and recite every last damn word. But there's a difference between my mind and a impressionable mind who still is listening to music and changes his style according to the perceptions of movies and music. I'm too old for that. You understand? So I can actually differentiate from what is fiction and non-fiction, what is reality and what is just here for poetry, and I can do that. But there was a point in time I was young too once. So yes, the music did affect me the same way. I remember one time in a party, my homegirl, Keisha Clark, she had a party at a church. Her brother had put the Desert Eagle on me because he was going back and forth and dealing with his parents and this, that, and they was there at the party. So he was like, yo, Mel, hold this. Bang. And then that motherfucking Mobb Deep Quiet Storm came on. What are you, huh? He might as well threw a 9-volt in my back. I'm acting for anybody to act up in this joint right now. Who want to do what? But that's because the amount of people when you're young that don't have knowledge of self that's a lot of people. So it is very important as we get older not to try to act young and fit in with these young people. They need somebody who's older to not so much preach to them, but let them know, right? So you gotta let them know in a certain way where that's not preachy. But I was there too, so I know what you're going through right now, and you're wilding right now. It's nothing that you think you did or about to do that I have not done. I did all that shit, and let me just give you the gist of it. You're better off flying straight. And let me just keep it real with you right now, right? Anyway, let me get up out of here. Roby, you're exactly right about that. You become what you surround yourself with. Yeah, that's my point. Hence, I listen to classical music when my kids are with me and switch to old school. Yeah. I don't listen to shit when my daughter's with me, right? But I be wanting to play the R&B some of the Summer Walk. I can't play none of that shit when my daughter's in the car, right? She don't listen to Summer Walker, thank God. I don't want her singing those lyrics. Hell no. Don't be singing no goddamn Summer Walker in here. Nah. She got her own music that she listens to, and there ain't none of that bullshit. And I'm sure not the one that's going to be putting her onto that nonsense. Isn't that crazy that Cardi B didn't even want her own goddamn kids to listen to her music? Now that tells you something right there. Her music came on and she ran to turn that shit off. It's crazy. Yeah, Unc. We out of here, Unc. We out of here. I didn't even know you was still here. Thought you been left, Unc. All right, we out of here. People got things to do. Yo, thanks for coming through. Holla at y'all later, all right? Peace out.